Exactly. So I don't want you to answer this question, the second question right away. I just want you to think about it. Like, you know the concept of time dilation, right? So
So,
why does it happen that light is never able to escape a black hole? Like, don't say gravity, because gravity is like a very trivial answer, but what happens at the edge of a black hole? What makes it
Maybe it's because that
like I said, I don't want the answer right now, bro. It's not a I want you to think. Just think about it, what happens at that point. You can mention it in the chat later, but I really want everyone to think about the fact that what happens at that point over there.
so
So
should we answer in chat?
yeah, you can answer in the chat, but I would like everyone to think about it once properly. Like we have seen in books, like as when we were kids, like we'll read these encyclopedias, they'll show that light was never able to escape a black hole because it was too dark inside or it moves inside, and people are like wondering what happens there. But there's this one guy who kind of figured it out. And
So
he
Stephen
also,
Hawking.
no, not Stephen Hawking. He had the radius, or like when you're like finding the radius of the black hole, it was named after
Schwarzschild
him.
radius. Something. Oh, I'm not getting that name correctly.
So yeah, that guy. So because of that, he did mention a theory. Like why did he understand? What did he understand from the fact of this and time dilation as to why light never escaped from a black hole? So I would like you to ponder on that. Until then, we can have the song for the day that is going to be on light again, obviously. So I'll just get started from my end.
why
Right, and we are back. I can see on screen. Wow, that's just a moment, guys. Yeah. So again, I can see that not all of you have turned on your cameras. Please do turn on your cameras, guys. Let's make this session as lively as possible. So now tell me, did anyone get the answer? Okay, mention in the chat. I'll just go through the chat one time. Okay, I have Nisha, Siddhanta Hoja. Singularity, event horizon, time dilation is not defined, tends to infinity. Light cannot escape singularity because it goes beyond the event horizon into singularity of all concepts. And light bends and got absorbed in black color. You're kind of close to the answer. Yes, the answer is that like there are two things that happen at a black hole. You have spaghettification happening, you have gravitational time dilation happening. And even if by some way you're able to escape this spaghettification that happens, the time dilation is going to be so strong that you'll always be at the edge of the black hole. You'll never go inside. If your friend is looking at you from outside, it'll seem that you're always at the edge of the black hole, because at that point time is infinite for you. The dilation is infinite, so time will stand still. So that's like one way of viewing time travel. Like if I throw something there which is able to withstand spaghettification, that thing is going to remain there forever. For us, it will always stand still. Like this was one of those amazing things I found out about black holes. And before I give on the session to continue the session, I want you to search up on one more theory in your free time. Read about this theory, the principle of cosmic censorship. Yeah, that's what it's called. Read about it in your free time. So for all of those who are here now, welcome back again. A very good evening to the cohort 1, and welcome to the 4th training session of the program. And this is going to be a very interesting one. It's on the design thinking, critical analysis, and problem solving. And our trainer is going to be Miss Nikhitha, ma'am.
Sir?
Yeah?
Sir, can you please repeat what you said, the principle of?
The principle of cosmic censorship.
Okay,
It
thank
is
you.
not yet proven, but it's a very awesome theory to read
It's
about.
a hypothesis.
Yes, I said not yet proven, that's why.
Sure.
Okay, I hand over the mic to Miss Nikhitha ma'am. You can take the stage.
Great. Thank you, Dakshish. That was a wonderful song with so much of information. I hope all the students loved it and also eagerly enthusiastic of this training that we're gonna be part of. Um, so let me start off because it's already been 10 minutes, right? As you just heard from Dakshish, it's about design thinking. It's about how you think critically, how do you analyze some things when it's important, right? So before I get on to what we're gonna do, I mean, what is that I'm gonna talk today? Let me explain how is that we're gonna go. I'm planning to explain you all about this topic for like 20 minutes. And then the rest 30 minutes, what we're gonna have, I'm gonna give you all or like create a breakout room for all of you, wherein you'll all be entering into random breakout rooms and you'll be exercising this design thinking for around 15 minutes, like a quick one. And then we all come back in the next 15 minutes. And as a team, you all need to present on that. All right. So we're gonna do this like I can't say it's a training type, but it's gonna be training, but you all are doing it at the same time. All right. So as a topic I mentioned, it's called design thinking, right? And what all comes into that? Let me share my screen and then we will start off. Cool. So as I said, now design thinking is basically I give you some situation and a set of people think about that situation with various aspects. As in, like, let's say, let's form. Can anyone volunteer? Raise your hand. Three of you. I mean, I'm just gonna pick three of you. Just okay. Dakshish, Siddhant, and Tanmay. Cool. So now Dakshish, Siddhant, and Tanmay and me are in a team. Okay. Rest all. I mean, it's fine. I'm just giving you an example, right? So we all are in a team, and if we get one topic, right? If we get one topic, the way I think would be different from the way Siddhant would think. Similarly, um, the other person would think. So every person will think in a different way. Now that becomes added value for the whole team in which we're working, because something that I might not know, that particular person might know, right? So that's what one of the wonderful thing about this design thinking is. It works in teams, all right? And it says that we should at least minimum have three people, like me and another two more minimum, right? And maximum it can go up to, like, 15 people, not more than that, right? Because again, if you have more people, then break out into smaller teams and then you work on it. So now, what is this all design thinking? Are we all capable of doing it? Do we have that age requirement and all that? If that's what you're thinking, it doesn't need any age, right? It doesn't need any background. I need to be in 8th grade. I need to be in 12th grade. No, that also doesn't matter. I need to study science, or I can be an art person. No, it really doesn't matter. It's good if you can get as many different people as possible to get this idea generated. All right. Now the whole concept of this design thinking is nothing but you think of something and you come up with an idea for it, and then you come up with a solution and you see if it's going to work with everyone and see how it is helpful. Now, this design thinking is actually applied in various cases. One, it could be for a business. Second, it could be for a project. Third, it could be for a plan. Like, let's say, students, now I saw a few of you raising hands, like Tanmay, Manya, and I still see Suhani. Okay, Tanmay, Manya, and Suhani, and me, or like only these three people, I'll say form a team, and I want you all to plan out an event, a stargazing event. That time, design thinking is necessary. Now, let's say, again, a few other people have raised your hand, like let's say Hriday and Kashika and Ashika. Now, these three people get into one more team, and I ask you all, okay, I have a company, but this product is not selling. I mean, people are not buying it. What do I do? So think about it. Come up with an idea. That's where design thinking comes into picture. So what all should we do for this particular thing, right? Now, why have we picked this particular training is because each one of you are working in a team for one of the project. So we feel this design thinking concept could be applied in your team and you can come up with really good ideas, right? Now, what are the elements of design thinking? One, empathize. Second, define. Third, ideate. Fourth, prototype. Five, test. Now, these are 5 factors. It's good if you all can write down because you have an exercise to do. All right. So, empathize, meaning of empathize means, if you all remember, having set of people with you and having different type of people will also help us, because empathize actually means how everyone thinks, right? Like let's say, now let's say we will talk about this concept which I just mentioned about the product not getting sold. So whom all should we think of people having in this discussion? One, set of customers, people from company, or people who would have done some sales. Yes or no? So these 3 people become the core people who should be in this meeting to come up with best solutions. Yes or no? Do you all agree?
So when I say space, what
Yes.
do you think?
Yes, ma'am.
What
Right?
Your
Yes,
mind?
ma'am.
Students, just give me a thumbs up if you all can hear me.
Start putting on the
Hello?
unmuting and start talking. It will be difficult.
I can hear
But
you.
if you can just put down in the chat what when I say
Hello?
I can hear you, ma'am, but there is.
on the chat.
You all can hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Awesome. I think I was lost for some time. Cool. But yes, I'm back. So yes, empathize becomes one of the important thing because this will help you to think beyond with different mindsets. Because you all on the fun time, they just realize that a person could think different ways in different situations. Like if you're happy, what do you think is different? If you're sad, what do you think is different? Now imagine such kind of various people giving an idea or giving their thoughts on this project is going to be very important. Now, the next thing that we're talking about is define. Now, what do you mean by define? So basically, with all these set of people, we all are going to define one of the problem statements, right? Like what is something which is very much problematic for all of us, right? Like let's say we had something that we were observing. Now, how do we define that becomes like really important, because we might know what is a problem, but we need to tell everyone what is the problem, right? So we need like a proper definition for it. So you need to define the problem or what you're talking in a proper way. And I'm going to show you how to define those problems as well. So once you have this problem sorted, you know that this is my exact problem. Then you're going to go into ideation stage, wherein you all as a team start proposing, okay, I think this could be the solution. I think this could be the solution. Someone else say, no, I think that's not good. I think this is a solution. So you all discussing together about the solution is nothing but idea. It's basically about coming up with different ideas of solution. The last, the last second one, which you see, prototype, as the name itself suggests, prototype is nothing but you make your first solution
Implement.
go live. You make your first solution, like you all came up with a solution in the ideation stage, and then you make one model and start people experiencing it. For example, like let's say people were not selling. I'll give you all one example. Okay, there was this discussion that was happening in. I don't know if this story is true because I've heard a lot of times. There was this meeting that was happening in the Colgate company with a lot of all the board members and everyone, and they were like, scratching their heads, telling why, how can we increase our production? The problem was, how can we increase our production? Students, do you all hear some external music coming? No? Yeah, all okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what happened with the Colgate company? Sort of people were discussing. They were all giving high-end solutions and stuff, but nothing was like, something that was feasible. And then in the same meeting, while it was happening, there was one cleaning person who was a very normal person, and he was cleaning, and he came and he heard them that they're talking about all this, and he said, "Can I suggest you an idea?" And then they were like, "You can you suggest what is it?" Then he said, "You can increase, if you know this Colgate has this opening, like the toothpaste that we have, you need to open the cap. Do you all know that? You need to open the cap, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
To let the toothpaste come out. So he said, why don't you increase that diameter? Because whenever someone uses it, they use more, which means toothpaste gets over quickly, which means they buy more of it for that." They were like, wow,
Yeah.
Smart.
wow, really? So
Yes, ma'am.
yes. So these are the ways that people can think of. Now, once you got the solution, like let's say, now they have to think of prototyping. So what they will do, because all the things that they were using earlier was different. Now they have to make a new one. So they're gonna make one new model, new product. That's called prototype, right? So you make one product with the changes that you wanted. And the next thing that you see here is test, which is basically like you see if people are liking it. You made a model in prototype stage, and then you're testing it if this will work. Now, if this doesn't work, you need to again rework on it, right? So here is where it says the phases. So you start off with empathize. I mean, look, what is that you want to work? Talk to people, talk to different type of people, get all of their insights on the problem, and then define a problem. Once you define a problem, start on ideating, like come up with solutions that you can think of, then make a prototype, then then test it. Then it says, if things don't work out in the test, come back to your definition and see what went wrong, or do you want to make some changes to your definition? And then continue with ideate, prototype, and then test. Sometimes your prototype might not work. Come back from prototype to idea. So that's what it says. Whatever the prototype you made was not good, which means you need to literally come back to your ideation stage, thinking, what was my solution supposed to be? Like, let's talk about this. Uh, uh, the diameter of the toothpaste coming out. Now, what would have happened is this designer or who was supposed to design, he would have made as big as the whole toothpaste tube is. So basically, when someone presses it, so much is coming out, like a lot of quantity is coming out and it's getting wasted. So something went wrong in your prototype. So you come back to your ideation stage. My idea was to increase this much percentage. But what happened with my prototype? It increased a lot, which is not good again. So come back, think of ideate, and then which will help you to, get your ideation stage well. Did I get disconnected again? Students?
Ma'am, it's a little unstable, ma'am, your internet connection.
Is it the
Ma'am,
same
in the
now as
middle,
Sometimes
your
your
voice is
videos,
your
sometimes
video
your
is
video
stuck.
gets stuck, but your voice will be clear.
Okay, great. So yes, I think now it must be better because I'm sitting very close to the internet. Cool. So this is what it happens. Sometimes your prototype is not good, and then your test is not giving you the result. Start from the beginning, right? So that's what happens. And over here, a lot of factors comes into picture, like what someone thinks. Did you like really achieve what you wanted, and all those things? All right, let's see what is there in every stage that you need to think of, or what you can actually do. And this is Stanford design thinking process. All right, so it might be very important for all of you. Look at it carefully. So in the empathize sector, you can actually do a lot of interviews, and you can do a lot of you can pass out your survey forms. Students, do you all hear me?
Ma'am, we can hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
I am so sorry for this. I'm so sorry for this. But yeah, let's continue. So you need to do interviews. You can pass on your survey forms, talk to people who are good in this field. All right, talk to people who are good in this field, and get views from everyone. Don't go to someone who is against something only, because that is what you wanted. If you're actually going to something, students, can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
so sorry for everything that's happening.
Okay.
Just give me a second. Okay, I'm back. So the internet should be good. Can you all hear me? See me? All good?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it better now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Cool. We have another few minutes, so let me quickly explain what are something that you need to know in terms of empathize. Like, do interviews, talk to people. Don't talk to people who are like only one way thinking, because if you just talk to the set of people who only think one way, then you will not get the aspects of others. For example, let's talk about this Colgate case itself. If you would have spoken to users, you would have known why they are not buying, right? So you speak to a different set of people, you'll get good idea. And then now coming to define, you need, how do you define your problem? Like, there is something called who, what, why. There are like few important questions that's like very much needed. And if you all can find solutions for those questions, you can actually define your question in a really good way. I will show it to you, but before that, let's complete this, right? Now let's once you go to ideate, so basically you all need to put all your ideas, and then there's something called converge diverge ideation method. So basically, um, if you all remember, just now I was telling you that speak to everyone, right? So this diverge and converge gives you a different types of working. Diverge means you're actually getting an answer which is for everyone, like for everyone. Now converging means you're like just looking at one set of people only, because your solution that you came up with, is it a diverging or converging? That's again something very important point over here. And you need to also think of okay, you got something, and then what next? So that also needs to come into picture. And then and then let's go to a prototype. I already said about prototype, like it means you can make mock-ups, or like you can just show how it is, how it works and everything. All right, now there is something called iterate. Actually, that is something that comes in your test. Actually, if you look into all other kind of design thinking methods, instead of test they use a word called iterate. Let me tell you what is the meaning of iterate or iteration. Now let's say you make one design. Since most of you are here like artists, or also people who are good in music and stuff, you know that first time you draw, it doesn't come out well, but you know how to make it better, and then you do it next time little better, next time little better, because you always learn from your mistakes. So that's called iteration. Your first draft, second draft, okay, this is my third one. Now see, 10th time yours is like perfect. right? So that's called iteration and the test over here, wherein you are actually checking a lot of things like how it works, role play, and then do this iteration. Whatever you wanted to make changes, go back and change, right? These are like really important things. If you remember, this design thinking involves a lot of things. One is critical thinking. I mean, if something happens, what do we do? So you are like prepared for something worse as well. All right. So that is another important thing. And then analytical thinking, as in you're actually making sure whatever you're thinking is something which is not very it's not very much something that you feel like, okay, it can't be done. All right, as in I'm telling you, like, if I ask you all, okay, the problem is to build a rocket by tomorrow, I mean, like, that's not possible. So that's called analytical thinking. Something, when an idea comes, is it possible for you all to do at this stage, or later on stage I can do it? It's not now, but I can do it later. So that analytical skills is something that all of you need to think of and must be good at. All right. So going further, I would want to add one more stressing important point for empathize, because it's dealing with the people's mindset. It's people. It's leading with people's behavior. So you need to connect that humanity aspect to your whatever you're thinking of when you're thinking of a design thinking process. All right, so that is something that I want to tell. And to just summarize for all of you quickly, right? Because I saw a few people were joining now. One is empathizing, understanding the human needs involved in it. All right, like let's say if I'm gonna ask you to make a purse or a new design of a wallet, the wallet that we use, understand the human needs involved in that particular one. Now define, reframing and defining the problem in human centric way. Only then people might observe or people might look into what you're doing as well. Next, creating any ideas in ideation session. As I said already, prototyping is adapting a hands-on approach in prototyping, like make something. Then testing, as I said, make it happen. All right, and then do a lot of iteration. Being said this, I want to give you all these problem statement. I'm gonna create a breakout room over here for all of you. Shobha, if you're there on the call, if you can make me host, then I will do it. All right. So these are the three problems I'm giving you all as an option. Once we open a breakout room, you all can decide on one of the problem and then think of and tell me few aspects like how you would deal with it, right? You'll have very less time. I know this design thinking process sometimes take months together, but I'm giving you minutes together. I know it can't be too much, but start applying what all we discussed today in this 15 minutes. And I'm pretty sure you will apply this in this whole JSS project that you all are doing and later in your future as well. So have you all noted down the problem that I mentioned? One is shelter for homeless. I mean, the poor, how they don't have shelter for normal living, and then there's food problem, and then there's the garbage and the dirtiness, right? These are the problems, and I want you all to think of solutions. And this is what is important for your problem statement: who, what, where, why. Write down anyone quickly. Your problem statement must say, I want all of you to at least come up with a problem statement after deciding on your topic. Come up with a problem statement and then think of few solutions and you can tell me. So who, what, where, and why. Combining all this together becomes your problem statement. Very simple. All right. Now I give you all some time. Let's say it's 4:36.
How many minutes do we get?
Yeah, I said I'm gonna give you all 15 minutes, okay? And make sure you all do a good teamwork. It is not individual work, all right? So it's 4:35, and I'm gonna give you 15 minutes, which is basically 4:50, all right? So we have 67 of us. You will also find few co-supervisors in your rooms probably. So co-supervisors, you're gonna become a team member along with them. All right. So assign automatically. I'm gonna create around 8 rooms, and remember, not 8. Oh yeah, I think 8 rooms is good. And you all will get 1 minute to explain your problem statement and one solution, like just 1 minute. So you'll have to prepare for that, giving your 15 minutes. Go ahead. You need to join all the rooms that you're allotted with quickly.
Ma'am, this is the team discussion, right?
Yes. No, not team
I'm in-
discussion. This is one of the exercise. Aryan, whichever breakout room you're invited to, kindly join quickly.
Oh,
Shubha, you also join.
Okay.
Join and get into discussion. Yes, do you hear me? It's nice. Cool. So let's hear from. I hope you all remember your breakout room. So if I just call the number and you all talk, right? Cool,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Let everyone join and then we start.
Ma'am,
Yes.
is it necessary to tell the name of the participants you're having?
You can do personal chat here with Anshu.
They're not.
So should we or should we not?
Sorry.
Do we have to tell the participants' names or
No,
not?
I have the participant names. So I will just what I did while you all were talking was I slowly came into every room and took a screenshot, so that should help me to know who is in which team. Let's see. Let's just wait for everyone to join us. Share some screenshots. Cool. Are we all ready? Are we all ready to share our ideas?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Yes. Awesome, awesome. So let me see if everyone is back. Wow, everyone is back. And just look at the time. I think I gave you all more time, but that was less actually compared to what you all were talking. Because I literally came in and like talking very big things. But I hope you all are ready as well. Who's gonna talk from which team? And I'm just gonna show the team picture. One of you will come and explain in 60 seconds. We might exceed 1 hour of training time for today, but we will try to finish it, and then you all will go into your team's breakout meetings. I'm pretty sure our co-supervisors are going to be angry at me for taking more time on this, but they're also part of this, so it's fine. So I'm gonna share my screen and I call out the first breakout room. So this is a breakout room I had. So who wants to go from this team?
Ria.
Yes, Ria, go ahead.
Hello, I'm from first breakout role and Gaurangi is joining me with the explanation. So our topic was clean city. Where is the Mumbai slum area? We chose a particular area. Why it is important? Because of the unhygienic conditions we are getting there, and the people suffering through this is not good. And who are these peoples which is doing such a thing? Are most probably everyone. We need to educate everyone. And the one thing or one point which we may include is the thinking of the people. Now I request Gaurangi to take over.
Yeah, thank you so much, Riya. So I'm Garangi and I'm going to proceed with how and what. So we basically need to educate people about telling them how to about telling them the unhygienic conditions that they are creating and then living in, that can cause diseases to them, and that is of course life threatening. Then the second point we have discussed is about the pollution. We can educate about the types of pollution that are causing. Then we can tell them how to segregate waste, as we have two types of dustbin for segregating waste.
Time up. Thank you very much. Good work. Good discussion. Let's go with the next team, and I have a timer as well for you. Okay, here you go. The next, who wants to talk?
Yes, the definition will be given by
Bye.
Nishant. I'm sorry, I just got cut off. Nishant, are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Nishant. So are you ready? I'm going to set up the time.
Yes.
Cool. Let's go.
So we discussed about the clean city. So we didn't take like which city we are going to speak, but just came up with the ideas. So having proper drainage systems make people hygienic. So because of plastic pipes or something which is under the roads are coming out of the panels, so that the roads, the people in the slum areas getting diseases of that. So that is one point. And second point is not throwing plastic covers, plastic papers or something not non-biodegradable in the parent grounds makes dirty. So because of that, more
Yeah, because of that.
diseases spread and makes.
Time up. Good work and amazing. I see two teams already picked clean city. Anyways, let's see what is our next team is into. Do we have the next team ready?
Yeah, I think Shanwan, Tanvi, and Vedant will be talking about it. All three
Three?
members. Yeah.
All three. Do we have time?
Okay, in that case, we'll just go with Shanwan then.
Shanwant, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm starting off. Yes, go ahead.
We were discussing about how plastic can help fix up roads, and how plastics can also be used sometimes in clothing, in some places in jeans and stuff. Another place plastic can be used is
we did discuss
anyone
about.
Wants to come in? Very good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tanvi, you can continue.
Yes, ma'am. So we discussed about turning plastic, recycling it into making plastic bins so as to throw garbage in it, and that's how we can reuse plastic. And plastic can be also used to make roads, and it can be put in a lot of clothing, and we can recycle like this, and also buy plastic that are more recyclable and desegregation.
Time. I really like the way previous team Manya just she know that Nishant is going down and she just came up. And you could have done here as well. And I also saw the same points were explained, like whatever someone said, Tanvi also said the same points. You must be prepared, people, but good work. Okay, I see your team picking up one of the important problem and discussing. Good work. I see. So basically, your part is, I mean, your topic was also in the clean city, right? Okay. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, so three
Yes, ma'am.
three teams so far, and all three went for clean city. Let's go for next team.
So I'm going to speak in this team 4. It's me, Hriday Agrawal, and we are going to talk about again clean city. Sorry, but yes.
Go ahead.
So we have come up with a problem statement that people are not educated, first of all, and they are lazy. Second, and since the cities are really in a bad condition, they just want to throw anywhere they want, because whenever we see somewhere there is a garbage, we tend to see that this is a garbage area and we throw it there. So we have come up, and one more problem is that masks and sanitizer bottles are been thrown in a very huge amount in COVID-19 situation. So there is a startup here in India which asks people to send their used mask, and this do whatever they want to, and then after that they create bricks out of which houses can be made. This was one solution. Second is calling people and telling that if you submit your garbage to a center, then we will reward you with food or money, and that money won't be a huge money, but it will come from, we have to take all those things. And yeah, this was the thing. I think I hope
Wow, perfect. Good, like you were right on time. Good work, everyone from this team. So 4 out of 4 clean city. Do we have room number 5? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be speaking something called food for poverty for poor people.
So 1 second, I'm gonna set a timer. Yes, go ahead.
Ma'am, so this idea we came up with is called the urban agriculture, the urban farming, basically growing doing agriculture in a populated area and cities like structure, so that a basic organization can set up the structure and then they can provide this food or the crop that they have harnessed from there, and then they can provide it to the people, the poor people. And so that there is another idea called we set up an organization where the people can give donations and they can collect food from the ceremonies like wedding functions or any something like that, and then they can collect food from there and then they can provide it to the poor people. So our idea, because we have to make this organization more accessible to that people as well, so our idea also, we can register people for that particular food drive, and then it will make the distribution of food more easier.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'll also add, so we have organizations can also come up with something like 1 roti per house. So once in few months, one society can donate 1 roti per house. So that will be 6 rotis on the floor, 72 rotis in our building, and more than 500 rotis in my society. Then we can also do the 10 rupees biscuit packets, so people can donate 10 rupees to the organization and they can buy biscuit packets for the kids. Yeah, these were our ideas. Thank
Wow, I just want to, I mean, say that you all, everyone, okay, everyone, and Ashika, just think of the practicality of that idea which you said, 1 roti. There's so much possible, and it could eradicate so much of, I mean, it could just give food to so many people if that could be done. Amazing, amazing. So let's go with the next team, breakout number 6. Breakout number 6. Whom do we have?
I'd like to speak for the 6th group.
Siddhant, shall I start?
Sure, ma'am.
Awesome.
Ma'am, we thought that a solution is as good as the number of problems it addresses. So we thought that we'll use just one solution to tackle all the 3 problem statements that we had. So we want to eradicate poverty through a waste management scheme, which will be initiated by the non-government organizations and the government agencies together jointly. So what we thought was that we targeted the city of Mumbai as a case study, and the slum area, Dharavi, around there. And so we want to employ people from there to actually segregate the waste in the government trucks that come to collect the garbage, because segregation right now, it's not happening as effectively as it should have. and then we propose to build plastic treatment plants and metal treatment plants, but they'll be quite different from the ones that we have today. So, ma'am, since this is a science internship, so we thought that we should integrate science with it. So we were thinking about having wax worms. Ma'am, these are organisms which eat plastic. So instead of just dumping it in a landfill for 1,000 years, uh, we thought that wax worms could eat them. So we'll be providing employment as well.
Very nice, very nice, beautiful. I mean, I know that you all are capable of these ideas. I'm pretty sure, though, if we had anyone who were someone we call as decision makers, I don't know how you all would be awarded with. Okay, but good work. Anyways, I'll tell you. I'll tell something at the end. But let's go to room number 7. We have very less time. Who wants to go with room number 7?
Yeah, my name is Sujal. I'm from
Yes.
breakout room 7. Can I go ahead?
I'm gonna set a timer. Okay, just give me a second. Yes, go ahead.
So we have discussed about the shelter for homeless. So we thought the main reason that homeless people don't have house because they don't employ, like they don't have jobs or something, so they can pay and rent the house. So we thought government should help them to give employment, like job something, even when in which they can build house for others people for other homeless people who don't have who cannot work, right? So by using that fundraisers or we can build dorms like a small room, like 1-2 rooms, where they can start a business where they can start a small business and which will be solar powered. And yeah, so they can start a business and even help others for expanding their business and even helping to build more dorms.
And the place itself will be run by these homeless people so that they don't depend on others. For it.
Are you solving the renting problem? Because then giving rent itself is a big problem.
The fund part of it will be taken up by the business part when they do the startup businesses from the dorms.
Yeah, basically we want to provide them jobs as well. So we thought if we provide them ideas that they can work from home, like they can start from their business.
Simultaneously we'll have fundraisers, so just instantly starting a business won't give you money, right? So having fundraisers from before and earning money will help us solve the rent problem as well.
Yes, very good. Let's go to the next team.
Ma'am, I just want to say one thing.
Yes.
So from this team only, I'm not from this team. I just wanted to add in the middle. So there is this scheme called Mangera from the government, Mahatma Gandhi Rural Employment something.
MNREGA, yeah, the 100 days work.
Yes, so I think you guys can work on that as well, because if you means the idea, so that it will be a great idea with government.
We have the similar kind of idea, just we don't included that now.
Awesome. Thank you, Hriday. Let's go to the next team, room number 8. Do we have anyone?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Srilas, and I'll be explaining our problem statement.
I'm gonna start the timer.
Yes, ma'am. So our problem statement is, what can we do to help inculcate a cleaning mindset in urban city people in order to try and reverse the pollution rate in cities? And Jitavati is gonna help explain how an app is gonna help answer this problem statement.
Right. So we're going to build an app after surveying about the different necessities we really need. And then the app is going to have a map which can detect the trash can places so that we can be aware of where we should actually dispose the waste, so that, we don't have to throw it here and there. And it can be it has to be a systematic disposal place. And then we can also have information in the app which can educate people about different types of waste, suppose biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and how can we actually reuse the recyclable waste. And also we can have this app in many regional and local languages so that we can have a mass reach about this. Thank you.
Ma'am, also I'll add in something. It can help integrate volunteers from urban areas to help do clean drives and help segregate waste and create awareness and post articles in regional languages.
Awesome. Can we all have an applause for ourselves at least, or for everyone who came up with amazing ideas. I can't just believe that this happened in 15 minutes. In 15 minutes. Can you all believe it happened in 15 minutes of discussion that you all had with new people? So understand the strength of your team, get onto discussions, and you can actually come up with solutions to whatever problem you have. Leaving you all with this thought of design thinking, which could be applied for any problem, any project, anything that you can think of. All right, that's it for the day. You took half of the session, I took half, but I think we all learned together. So I'll end the call for the day, or I'm done with my part. I'm leaving it to Lakshis. Thank you everyone for attending.
Yeah, thank you, Nikhitha. I will forward it to Yasir. Yasir had something to discuss with all of you.
Yes, hello everyone. Okay, I just have a small announcement to make. So first of all, have you all received the mail for the weekly update meeting in your Yandex mail? Has everyone received it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so over there, if you guys have any general query or any, if you're facing any problem issues, yes or no, anyways, I want all of you all to please make sure that you fill in the form. It's given there in your mail. So just go over there and please fill in the form. All right. Can I get a thumbs up?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much.
Secondly,
Right. So that concludes the 4 training session of the day. I would like you all to leave this meeting and join your team discussion meetings, because we're running 30 minutes late already on that.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining.
So we can leave.
Thank you.
Yeah.